Hello, everyone. Welcome to LexTalk World Talk Show presented by ClickAway Creators. Today, we have Mr. Sagar Sharma, who is an associate handling the responsibility in the IP litigation team at RNA, Technology and IP Attorneys. He completed his legal studies in 2015 and became a member of Bar Council of India. In 2020, Sagar joined RNA Technology and IP Attorneys, a full service IP law firm, as litigation associate. He was also made a part of litigation team as the firm saw his inclination and perspicacity towards the intellectual property knowledge and enthusiasm to be a part of his culture. Sagar has been a part of the legal fraternity for more than 5 years and is enrolled with different honorable judicial institutions of India. He has been in regular practice of client advising, negotiations, arguing matters with the honorable courts, including drafting documents, legal research, contractual management, providing dispute resolution in jeopardized situations. He's always on his toes and has multiple hobbies, which includes playing basketball. He's a tech enthusiast, food critic, and explorer. And of course, he is always motivated to perform his job to the best of his capabilities. Hi, Sagar. How are you?
Hello, ma'am. I'm very good, and thank you so much for such a well-descripted introduction.
Always a pleasure. So, Sagar, please brief us about your journey as a legal professional so far.
Uh, well, to start with, never actually intended that legal, like the lawyer profession, would be the one I'll be choosing, but I am pretty much not just complacent, but at the same time, I'm very thrilled and excited to be a part of the legal fraternity. And at present, the the path that I've chosen in being a lawyer and representing, be it clients, be it on individual basis, be it a company, it has always been a very, I don't know whether using the word noble would be prudential, but yes, it's been a very rewarding experience by this time. Started from 2015 when I first started into the criminal, civil, and matrimonial practice till today. I have experienced more diversified culture in law, be it any field, be it intellectual property, be it contract. There has been it's been an ocean, and I am just trying to swim through as many layers as possible.
That's wonderful. And you were able to put that into words, and I'm amazed. So, let's get down to the next question, which is my favorite question that I would like to ask you. Tell us about your most memorable case and what are your key takeaways from there?
In just 5.5 years of experience, there have been some plethora number of cases that I would say were fondest of memories or were really memorable. But yes, there's this one very particular case. It was a civil case, and it was basically a case that a child, a very small child,
Okay.
who became a part of a family dispute,
Oh,
and he was to be given his part of the share of property. And somehow I was able to manage that through his adopted guardians against his natural guardians. And yet I was able to somehow not just convince the court, but also both the parties to settle the matter. And then I don't know how come this actually fell into its place, but I just gave fate a shot that through mediating both the parties, I was able to convince both of them that yes, it is better to reconcile. And at the end of the day, even not just both the parties, but even the court was pretty much amazed that yes, it got settled amicably, and till date, I actually get messages from that little child of being so considerate and a thoughtful lawyer towards him.
well, that seems to be a very complicated situation that you were in, but you did your job and congratulations on that one.
Thank you so much. It was a pretty sabotaged one, and at least I was able to bridge the differences in the family itself. So, yeah, pretty happy about that.
All right, perfect. So, since your memorable case was the civil one, let's talk about a bit different thing here. How do you look at civil and consumer protection laws in 2021, and how do you think that it is going to change 5 years down the line?
Thank you so much for asking that, ma'am. And it just so happens that civil law, if I have to say per se, is pretty much an extremely huge, like I would say, a behemoth class of law or a scope. It contains, like civil law contains almost everything. So be it registration, be it court fees, be it partition, be it any kind of law. Civil law is perhaps like the most diversified one. So commenting on that would be a bit prejudice on my part. But yes, as far as the consumer law is concerned, since it has been amended, and in 2019 only, the official gazette notification was out, and some major changes have been there in consumer protection. Like uh, recently, consumer protection law has involved e-commerce, and if you are buying something online, and if there is deficiency in services, or if there's any sort of a manufacturing defect, anything that a consumer is facing in a negative turmoil, then obviously even then you're falling in the category of consumer. So the e-online transactions also comes under that scope or that perspective. The pecuniary jurisdiction is the new thing that has come into place. The product liability, which was just part of the US and the UK thing, now that has also come into its place. So a lot more changes has come, and since you mentioned 5 year down the line, so we can say that yes, some major changes are about to come, and it will be beneficial to proactively towards the consumer strata.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for answering that question, Mr. Sharma. Uh, now, you are working in that vertical. So let me just ask you something about that. What has been the recent development in the field of IPR, specifically trademark and copyright in terms of litigation?
Ma'am, since I've recently stepped into it, and it's just been like 1.5 years or 2 years that I have started evolving, not just my knowledge and exposure, but also my um, perspective towards this particular field. And yes, to be very honest and admittedly, it is one of the most comprehensive fields that I've ever came across. So modification in copyright law, the patent law has been aligned towards the compliance of the international paradigm. Also, that there has been some immense changes in trademark law, like for the definition itself. Now it is including the most recent changes, I would say. There's a very famous case of Christian Louboutin. So that has also somehow encapsulated or elucidated, I would say, the color combination or the shape that also falls now under the trademark law. So some very recent changes also include our present trademark practice or trademark law is now implying aligned, I would say, with the international practices. Now we have a lot more thing going on. Be like wherever you are, there are some recent case laws by the Honorable Delhi High Court where it says that yes, the jurisdiction can be Delhi itself or any other high court for that matter. Be it now the registration of a trademark, it has been increased from 7 years to 10 years. That is one of the most recent changes that has come. And be it, let's just say, it's actually hard to recollect everything once again. Yes, how can I forget? Even the farmers are getting their rights. Farmers can now even claim the rights over some specific crops, over some specific plants. Now this is that also for like falls under the trademark and the copyright thing. So things like that has been falling into its place. Like for like the best example, I would say the Design Act of 1911 now has been repealed and has been modified to Design Act of 2000. So these are all some very not, I would say, ones recent ones, but yes, some gargantuan changes in the field of copyright as well as trademark.
All right. Wow. That was wonderful because I had no idea about it. So it was wonderful knowing. Thank you for sharing that with us. So how does it actually feel to be a part of an IP firm, and what has been your fondest memory uh, as of now. I mean, I would just put that point across that you have been saying it's not been much time, but in such a short span, I'm sure there must be something that comes to your mind.
Uh, to be very honest, ma'am, yes. To be a part of the IP firm, it has always been not just a cherishable part, but I wanted to be a part of a firm that actually not just deals with it, but can make me, give an exposure that I always wanted. So the firm that I work for, RNA, is not only about the litigation, but also about the prosecution and opposition. And they have actually taught me a lot. And within a span of not even less than 2 months, I've come across almost more than 65 to 70 judgments and case laws. I have dealt with more than 25 cases myself, and I've argued some major cases, being a part of this firm, like 5 of them. But the best part, the most rewarding part, is that the most fondest memory, that there's one very particular case that was my first case in which I did my legal research. I had no clue about the European Union, about specific registration of copyright as well as trademark. And then the WIPO, World Intellectual Property Rights Organization, and coming across all those points, coming across all those notifications and their bylaws, their rules. Within just one case, I actually got to know almost uh, there's a all new broader perspective, all new era that I still have to go across. It's like a complete episode, sorry, a complete series, and I haven't even started with the first episode. So it's a long way to go for me.
Wow, I mean, the way you are talking about it, obviously, we all know that it's a big deal, and of course, the way you're describing it, we are feeling happy. I mean, I am feeling happy that you have a lot of you take a lot of pride in saying
Yeah,
this, and that is just wonderful. So it was really, really, lovely talking to you, and thank you so much for sharing such great insights with us. We
like
really look forward to having a chat with you again in the future on maybe some other trending topics in the international legal industry.
certainly.
And for our viewers, if you like this chat with Mr. Sharma, please like and share this video, and also subscribe to Clickaway Creator YouTube channel to appreciate what we do, and you have more coming from the industry leaders. This is Bharti for Let's Talk, signing off.